I'm Jeff. This is Fishing on Foot. I am walking in for one of my favorite kinds of fishing, not real far from home at the Chattooga National Wild and Scenic River. And it's about a quarter mile or something like that down to the river, which most places at the Chattooga you're going to find somewhere at least that, because it is a National Wild and Scenic River. There's a couple of bridge crossings, but everywhere else the cars aren't allowed to come any closer than that. Many parts of the river, the only way you're gonna get to them is either by walking several miles on a trail or even up the river. Some places would be pretty tough to get to on foot at most water levels, just because of the ruggedness of the river, and aren't necessarily trails. But this area you can walk down to. There's several spots along the river where you can walk a short distance and get down to the river and explore, and that's what I'm doing today. Primarily today I'm targeting the Bartrams red-eye bass, which is a species that was identified not too many years ago. At one time, these were all considered to be shoal bass. Then the biologists realized that they were red-eye bass, and they're grouped together with the Coosa red-eyes. And then they figured out that there's actually a distinctive species in the Savannah watershed, which are the Bartrams bass, and that's what I'm most expecting to catch today. Well downstream of the trout waters, but you'll sometimes catch some either rainbows or browns that have found their way down along the way, and so we'll see what we find. Made it to the river at the downstream section, or downstream end of the section that I want to fish. The river is low right now. You can see that it's absolutely beautiful spot. The low water, it might make the fish a little bit fussy. We'll find out about that, but it makes the access much better. There's in the spring you can't fish a lot of the river at all, because you just can't get in and get up and down the river, but should be able to kind of work our way through and hopefully find some fish here. Looks like just kind of a steady current through here, but if you look in the water, there's lots of rocks and indentations and grass beds. So there's lots of places for those fish to hide. So I feel like we should be coming up on something good. Nothing in the first little section that I fished. I was getting a little deep, so I circled back to the trail and went just really not very far upstream, but starting in a little bit different spots. So we'll see what happens here. We'll mix things up a little bit and try to double crawfish, which is probably my most tried and true bait for these fish. They haven't gotten them to cooperate so far, so we'll see what happens. Well, finally got one. I just had one other really tiny one on, but didn't land him. But got this little guy to cooperate, and hopefully we can find some more. But I'm happy to have found something in this big nice pool. Yeah, let this guy go and see if we can catch another one. Well, I'd mentioned that red-eye bass were the primary targets that I might catch a trout. Didn't consider, although I should have, that Mr. Hornyhead chub is always a possibility in these waters. We'll let this guy go. Well, I'm gonna head out. Didn't catch a lot of fish, but I caught a few, and really catching a lot isn't the expectation with this particular trip. It's a beautiful, wild and scenic river that I had to myself, and just enjoyed getting out and wet wading. Also, the opportunity to catch this the native river bass with their beautiful colors. Just a fun place to spend a day. So I'm gonna head up the hill.